Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Which I've now watched like 22 times in a row.
I did 42.
Trying to figure out exactly what's going on. It's like
okay, so apparently people have already figured this out.
really?
In the trailer, you get to see a new style of Riddler.
Which I tried to figure. I figured it out because there was some riddles written later on. So, but I didn't know if that character that you saw at the beginning with the duct tape and stuff, that was the Riddler.
That's him.
Or not.
Yeah, that's the Riddler.
Is he like the No More Lies guy? Is that? Or
Yeah.
Is it, okay.
Well, he's not the guy that says no more lies on his face. He's the guy that's taping him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And it's an interesting costume. It's kind of steampunky.
It's just
like
very
weird,
dark.
Yeah, I love it.
Graphic.
And so it's a different type of character. You get to see
Gary Jerry.
You get to see the Penguin in this.
I didn't see the Penguin.
He's there.
Where?
When they go they're outside of a, it's like a workshop or something, and they're all shooting guns, and this car explodes. He's standing there, and it's Colin Farrell, but you would never be able to tell it was him. He's got so much makeup on.
Really?
And he's got a big scar on his face.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Then you've got the Catwoman that's there.
She
Zoe
looks
Kravitz,
great. That's Zoe Kravitz.
Which she's more of a cat burglar than...
Well, Catwoman is a cat burglar.
Yeah, but she's not really... She's just dressed in black clothes. It's not like
she's
a suit.
got like pointy ears.
But it's still a ski mask, you know.
It could be early Catwoman.
So you see those three things.
Who are the Joker-looking dudes? Are those the Riddler's henchmen then?
Well, it might be the Penguin's henchmen.
Okay, they look like Joker henchmen.
They do, and they're hoping that that's not the case.
I hope that's not the case.
I hope it's not the case either. But then this guy put out a video that said that he's figured out the first riddle. I watched the whole video, but it's one of those overly edited videos where he talks about so many random things and jumps around so much that...
All headline, no substance.
Yes, there wasn't much substance there besides saying that he's the one that showed like the Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler, and then he kind of hinted at the Court of Owls again, and saying that the Court of Owls may have an underlying...
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I mean, they should do that.
Yeah, like have an underlying story here that is connected throughout the whole movie.
How do you feel about the Riddler being the main bad guy?
Oh, I'm all for it.
I've never been a huge Riddler fan, but...
Me either, but this iteration looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I think there's more to it than just the Riddler. So James Gordon is walking through...
First of all, pause on that.
Yeah.
That dude that's playing James Gordon...
Doesn't he look good? He's going to be really good.
They nailed it right. He's going to be perfect for that role. I'm telling you, I like that actor. I don't even know his name offhand. He's been in a lot of stuff, though. And that works for me.
Yeah, so he's walking to this crime scene, and Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, yes.
Jeffrey
he's in
Wright
Westworld. And
yes.
I'm not a huge Westworld fan, but he's great in Westworld.
He's walking to the crime scene, and as he's walking through this hallway going to the crime scene, all of the cops on the side of the hallway are looking behind him. And then the camera pans around, and Batman's following him through there. What this is saying is that it's basically year 2.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's not going to be a year 1 or a new, like the origin story of Batman. This is year 2 of a young Batman that's already gotten somewhat of a relationship with James Gordon and is working with the police department to a certain capacity, but isn't yet really accepted by the majority of the police department. So it's looks really good to me. And then the whole scene where he's just punching that dude.
Oh, yeah, that's brutally awesome.
It reminds me of the Arkham games.
It does.
Where you can just pummel people.
It looks great. Who is the dude?
And they say, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm vengeance."
With the face bandana on and like the darkened eyes. That they're in a press conference and you get a glimpse of a guy.
I don't remember.
Maybe it's supposed to be Batman. I wish you were watching the trailer like I was.
Oh, you have been?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Maybe it's Batman. I don't know. Robert Pattinson looks a little odd as Bruce Wayne. I will say that. But he looks awesome in the Batsuit.
He does because he's got like that disheveled hair. Yeah.
Why did they leave the long hair? That doesn't where it's like that 90s hair, like parted down the middle. I don't like the hair.
You're right, but I think it's a take off of him still being new at Batman and still being so like upset about his parents being gone, and he's still not very well kept, and maybe a little, maybe kind of a vigilante at the time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely angry.
He's definitely angry. You can tell that.
I mean, everybody looks angry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the look of any of the other DC movies. That's another thing that I like. It has its very own distinct look.
Here's what they were explaining in this video I watched, is that what he was claiming about the Court of Owls thing is towards the end there's a video playing and it looks like a debate, and what it's saying is you're involved too. And they thought that it's going to have like an involvement with Thomas and Martha Wayne with the Court of Owls, and Bruce Wayne is going to start finding that stuff out, how his family's been tied into this stuff, and they're trying to get him to be involved with it. But obviously he's Batman now, and that's not going to happen.
A lot of big leaps there, but
so there is. But he explains it a lot better than I just did with a lot more context. But I don't know if it's going to go that deep into the whole Court of Owls thing. But if they are involved, I would be all for it.
Well, I will say another thing that jumped out at me is the Batmobile looks awesome. Mm-hmm. It looks like almost like a muscle car, like almost like a DeLorean kind of look to it, with like an exposed rear
end. It does
engine.
kind of. A blue flame, that way you know it's hot.
Yeah, because flames are the best propulsion mechanisms.
Right, of course they are.
But no, I think it looks great. I am way more excited about this movie than I had been previously after seeing that trailer, which is usually a good thing. Yes. The main thing that I'm excited for by this trailer, honestly, is Robert Pattinson looks phenomenal in the Batsuit, and the Batsuit looks awesome.
Yes, it really does.
I don't like his like long-haired. Obviously, I know he's got dark makeup on because he's got the mask on, but at the end he looks like the Crow, and I don't like that.
I love the Crow.
I mean, I like the Crow, but I think this movie will probably be significantly delayed, but because it says currently in production still.
Well, so here's the thing. As of this trailer coming out, Matt Reeves has said that there's only been 25 to 30% of the movie shot.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, anyway, I'm excited. October 1, 2021 is the release date. It feels like a year. Well, it is more than a year away.
It's
a long ways away. It seems odd that it would come out in October. Really, that's not a big movie time, but
I don't know.
It seems like it'd be more like a Christmas time.
Do you think there's a bad time for a Batman movie?
I mean, certainly that's not but that's sometimes
traditionally doesn't matter.
Yeah, sometimes the biggest blockbusters are in odd times because they don't have competition.
Exactly, they don't have competition, and it's the title. The title's going to bring in people to watch this.
Yeah,
the Joker came out in October.
While the film isn't scheduled for release till 2021, it's already received a spin-off show about the Gotham Police Department with Reeves producing. So that's something to look forward to as well. More shows about the Gotham Police Department.
Yeah, I'm in for it. I don't care.
The main thing I liked about it, I didn't get to say that before, was the style looks right. It doesn't look cartoony like the other DC movies.
No, it doesn't.
But it doesn't look too photorealistic like some of the other movies. It strikes a good balance of what I would consider to be like a dark thriller.
That's a good point, because it strikes a good balance between indie and big budget.
Yeah, it does.
It's like it looks like kind of an indie take to this movie, but you can tell that obviously they're throwing money at it.
Oh yeah.
And
like all of the monies.
I love the fact that it doesn't look like a Dark Knight Batman or.
See, that one was like shot almost too photorealistic.
It was too photorealistic.
This one doesn't look
like looking back on it.
This one I wouldn't consider the look to be, it looks like Batman in the real world. No, I wouldn't consider that to be the look. It really captures what I would say the Greg Capullo look of those early comics from that run.
Yeah.
It captures that look that it's like cartoony but not too cartoony. But real but not too real.
I completely agree with you.
Almost the look of the Gotham TV show, to be honest. It kind of has that tone to it.
Yeah, so the landscapes and the buildings and everything that you're in does look a lot like the Gotham TV show. I would agree. Even the police department does. Like the police look like the police in the Gotham TV show.
I'm interested to figure out when this is set. Like if this is going to be set in the 80s.
I don't know.
It doesn't look like it's a current Batmobile. It looks like more like a 70s or 80s type vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're even going to put a date to it, are they?
I hope they don't, but full-length trailer for Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
And I feel like this movie we've been talking about it for
forever.
Like 3 years now.
It's really, I think it has been in production for almost 3 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Because when did the original, like the first Wonder Woman come out?
A long time ago.
It had to have been 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And then they probably got in production with this right afterwards.
Pretty soon Gal Gadot is going to be like 80 years old.
Too old
She's not going
to
be
play
playing
this.
Wonder Woman.
Well, Kristen Wiig will certainly be too old because she's significantly older than Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Well, I will say I didn't like it nearly as much as the first teaser trailer. I'll be perfectly honest. The first teaser trailer felt super 80s and fun.
It did.
And this felt more DC movie-y.
Correct.
Not judging, not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying this definitely felt more like more of the same.
It does look the same. I think it'll still be fun until the fighting starts.
Yeah.
Until they start actually fighting the big bad, which is Cheetah. And in this trailer, you see a lot more of. And doesn't really blow me away.
You should play the trailers as we talk about it because I forgot about this really cool scene where she's using her lasso to lasso lightning.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that is super cool. So I feel, but while it's super cool, it's also one of those things that DC does. They're like, let's make this really super cool moment happen.
Yes.
And that kind of takes you out of a movie sometimes.
A lot of it does. I don't understand why they need to do that. But
so anyway,
I don't know why they need to make everything so gloomy.
I don't.
When it comes to a Wonder Woman, I don't think Wonder Woman's gloomy.
I don't think this looked that gloomy. It just looked very.
Well,
it's a little dark.
They have when they first have the fight scene with Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman and Cheetah. It's like she drops these wings off her back, and it's dark on top of a building.
Yeah.
It might be raining. I don't know.
It looked the coolest is when they were back in like wherever she's from, and they're having that whatever event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
in the Coliseum type thing.
Yes.
That's when this Wonder Woman works the best. Give us the bright blue ocean, the bright sky, the Greek.
Yep.
Acropolis?
Archipelagos?
Nope, that's an island. But anyway, no, I'm definitely going to see it. I didn't have any interest in Kristen Wiig's character whatsoever.
Not really.
I don't even know. I hope that improves. To me, it really looks like
they may just not have cut it well. You know,
maybe not, but it looks very Catwoman from Batman,
which we've said from the beginning.
Batman Returns. Though.
We talked about this from
Michelle Pfeiffer Batman.
I know, and that's what we talked about from the beginning. Is that's what she was probably stemming that character off of.
It seems very similar to that. She looks like she's not funny. That's for sure.
No, not funny, and she apparently has a lot of strength. Yeah. Something happened to her, and I'd like to know what. Because I'm not deep into Wonder Woman.
I don't know anything about Cheetah either. So.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the people she fights.
Well, they have to do something because they basically make it appear as though like Wonder Woman is basically a god. She seems all powerful, in this trailer. So to make a Cheetah character even compete with her doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't to me, but she does it because she throws her around a little bit.
Yeah. So
like she lassos her, and Cheetah literally pulls her lasso and flings Wonder Woman around. That seems not possible to me.
Chris Pine is back, of course. He's got the best laughs of the trailer. He's got the best scenes of the trailer. Mm-hmm. I don't know how now we're going to head into two Wonder Woman movies where big budget, female-led woman superhero movies, and the best character is going to be
the man
in both of them. And I'm not just saying that because I am a man. Like, I want Wonder Woman to be the best character. I just feel like they gave the best jokes, the best lines, and the best personality to Chris Pine's character.
They did. They did at the end when he's changing outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
Really funny.
And when he's in the jet, stuff like that.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm in the bag for this movie. Of course, I was born in 1984.
You were, weren't you?
It is 1984. It was made for me, by me.
If it was made by you, make some changes before we see it, please.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Justice League Snyder Cut was thrown out there for everyone to see. And I tell you what, you can tell that it's changed.
It's definitely different. It gives you a glimpse of Darkseid. I don't think they reuse any scenes that I could really notice. Zack Snyder has come in and said they will not use one frame that he didn't shoot.
Really? I didn't know that.
No, you got to understand, he shot most of the first movie.
Right, I understand.
But he's not using anything that Joss Whedon shot.
That's not his movie.
He said it's not my movie, and it would not be right to steal that man's work.
Yeah, I completely agree.
They are. It looks. I mean, there are certain things that look similar. Like there was an Aquaman scene that looked very similar.
Yeah.
But other than that, it seems like pretty much a completely different movie.
Absolutely. Steppenwolf is completely different. You see Darkseid, which is amazing that he's
Steppenwolf
there.
doesn't seem like a main character.
He's not the main character at all, which he was not supposed to be to begin with. He's like the henchman of Darkseid, basically.
It will be 4 hours. It will run as a mini-series in 4 one-hour chunks.
Oh, this I was not aware of.
Yep. Sometime in 2021. And they're hoping to release globally, but they haven't figured out that yet. That's going to be difficult to do on HBO Max. But
why do you think that'll be difficult to do?
Because, they have different... all these streaming companies have different deals in different parts of the country.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Or different parts of the world.
I thought you meant it'd be hard to release a 4-hour miniseries on HBO Max.
Oh, no.
I don't know why that would be, but...
So I think it looks cool. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm very excited for it. I don't even really remember the Justice League movie because it wasn't very good.
Well, remember how they had the whole reshoots and Superman had to have his upper lip redone because he had a mustache because he was filming the whole Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't allow him to shave his mustache off, so then they edited his lip.
What a joke.
And his whole mouth.
This is a $300 million movie, And
it looked so bad.
It honestly didn't jump out at me. I didn't know.
It jumped out at me when I was sitting in the theater watching it. I am an overly positive person.
If you would have not known about it ahead of time,
I didn't know about it ahead of time. I just thought, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I just thought, man, his mouth looks dumb. Like, what did they do to his mouth? And then afterwards I looked it up because I noticed it. And that's when I found out what they had to do. That to me is absolutely ridiculous. Why would you allow that? If I can see it in the seats, which I don't notice much, I'm kind of dumb and I just watch the big picture of it all. If I could notice that, they had to have seen that in the final editing and cuts. They had to have been like, yeah, well, looks pretty good. I like this. Unbelievable. I just don't know how you let that go through. That to me says it's kind of a failure, which it was a very forgettable movie, and one you wouldn't go back and rewatch. This one hopefully is different. Still going to be dark, obviously, but you do get a black suit Superman.
The tone doesn't look significantly different.
No, it doesn't. But when you're dealing with Darkseid, it kind of makes sense.
That's true.
A little bit more than it does with just the Steppenwolf character.
Hopefully they get rid of some of the hokey humor. That didn't work.
Yes, we'll find out. Because the Flash has a little bit of that hokey humor. But I think he was the funniest one out of all of them.
Yeah, that was fine. It's more like there's some lines that Batman had that weren't good. And there was some other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gotham Knights, the Batman Arkham game series, basically. The newest one coming out would be Gotham Knights. The developer behind Batman Arkham Origins revealed its new game, a co-op adventure. I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Starring Nightwing. I love co-op games. I don't like multiplayer games, but I can deal with a co-op game.
So that's a big difference with this game is that there is a the main storyline that you play, you can play it single player, but you can play with two people at the same time,
right?
Playing this game. That differentiates it a lot, and I'll talk about it after you give your little review, but the Marvel Avengers game that's coming out.
Is that same way?
No, we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Starring Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood. I guarantee you to play a little Batman, too. They haven't said that. But
I guarantee you Batman's going to be at the end of this game.
Or beginning, before he gets...
I don't know.
As they protect the city following the apparent death of Batman, they'll face off against the Court of Owls, which we talked about last week. That was going to be the main villain, based off of the comic series from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo in the early 2010s. The game looks just like most of the other Arkham games, which looks great.
It looks very good. The gameplay looks very, very good.
I don't know how I feel about not playing a lot as Batman, but to be honest, some of my favorite parts of the Arkham games were playing as Nightwing.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to be able to play as Nightwing and Red Hood
and Robin.
Yeah, and Batgirl, to be honest. Like, I think all of them will be really fun in their own individual ways.
Why do you say her last and then to be honest?
Because it wouldn't be a character you would think I would like, because
Really?
I'm so obsessed with Batman.
Just because she's a woman?
No, because she's
like,
not
you're fine
Batman.
with Nightwing and Robin.
I am.
But you have to be shocked that you would be even interested in being Batgirl.
Correct. Yes. Okay. You have to be if you're talking about me. Yes.
I think actually gameplay wise, Batgirl looks like one of the most interesting. She plays like the Batman character.
Absolutely.
And Nightwing's obviously going to be a beat 'em up guy. So is Red Hood. I didn't really get a good glimpse of the Robin combat.
They don't really show much Robin combat.
But it's
right
probably
off
the
bat.
Tim Blake Robin who's my favorite.
Yep.
Tim Drake. Sorry. Looks cool. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. Watch the trailer if you want to see. And then there's a gameplay trailer that I sent to you.
Yes. I mean, the trailer I think is very good.
And the game. It looks like.
Besides just the gameplay, I'm just saying like the story that they show you in this trailer and the way it's narrated and everything about it is just very good to me. Here's what's coming out. Like, this Arkham game is blowing everything out of the water on the internet for games that are going to be released on new platforms. And immediately people started judging it onto the new Marvel's game that's coming out. Marvel's Avengers. It's a new game that's supposed to be coming out at the end of the year. I think November that game's supposed to come out. And then this Arkham game doesn't come out until next spring. But that Marvel game has been getting a ton of criticism because the character design is kind of poor. Apparently people are hating on Black Widow and what her gameplay and style looks like. And it's kind of a button masher, like we were talking about before. There's not much to it.
So is Batman Arkham games.
It is, but there's a lot more to do.
Yeah.
It's not a very linear game. You can jump around and go to different places. This is a little more linear is what it looks like. And they're weighing it more on the online side of things. Like, it's more online cooperative.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can do it. It's either online cooperative or single player. And people are hating on it because this game just came out and said, hey, you've got a co-op mode where two people can play together and do the whole story all together.
Yeah.
And the styling, the look of it, the gameplay, it just looks a lot better and more
It's definitely going to be
defined.
big because in the gameplay trailer they're playing a little bit and he says this is about 40 hours into the game or something, or 30 hours in or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what he said.
So it's going to be a big.
It's huge.
I'm excited about it for sure. I like the Arkham games. My only criticism of the Arkham games ever has been that it's very repetitive in your combat and stuff like that.
Yeah, the combat is
It's basically
pretty repetitive.
Dropping down from gargoyles, snatching people up.
Isn't that what you want to do
Just going
as Batman,
from
though?
other gargoyles in around a room. But it's cool, and I'm into it. It's been a long time since I played one of those games, and they're fun to play.
They're very fun to play. I haven't played one since I lived in town, Mazan, at least. So that's been since probably early 2015.
Yeah.
It's 5 years, Chris. It's a long time. I'm going to have to get my thumbs ready.
Grease them up.
I'm going to have to grease up my thumbs, maybe work them out.
Get some pizza grease on there and start.
I'm going to have to do thumb lifts.
Yeah.
You know, where you just lay your hand flat and lift your hand with your thumbs like a push-up.
Yeah.
For your hands.
Yeah, you can get one of those grip strengtheners.
I'm going to need one of those. A small one.
Yeah.
I got to work up to the adult size.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if my hand can fit around an adult size one. I've got small hands.
All right, on to the next news.
I'm doing thumb lifts right now.
I see that. James Gunn's Suicide Squad had a kind of a mini docu-trailer, I guess you could call it.
It was.
Idris Elba playing Deadshot. I thought. This says Bloodsport.
That's not...
That's
not what it is.
John Cena as Peacemaker and Pete Davidson, Blackguard. Bunch of other new characters in it.
The polka dot man.
Yeah, it looks freaking good.
I tell you what, now we were talking about how the new Batman trailer does a good job of blending things. This one does a very good job of making it comic booky, and it looks like a comic book movie. It looks like a comic book on screen. And I think this will be perfect for Suicide Squad.
It looks like a blending of... It doesn't look like a Marvel movie.
No, but you know what it did kind of remind me of, seeing them run through the sand and stuff, is the X-Men First Class.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that style. It looks more comic booky, and they finally give something for Margot Robbie to do.
Yeah.
That seems interesting in some way.
She had came out and said that this character, or this styling of Harley Quinn, is going to be completely different than the other two that she's done.
Well, this says it's not a direct sequel to the 2016 film, though it has many returning characters. So they might just be disregarding that from the last one.
Which is, I think we're all okay with.
I don't think anybody even remembers it.
I know. The only reason the people that are listening remember it is because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
That's it. But it looks really, really fun. It's a big movie, according to James Gunn. This is a very big movie.
He said it's the biggest movie he's ever done. That's bigger than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe when he says something like that. I think it's just hype.
Yeah, me too.
You know, what's that called? Hyperbole? Hyperbole?
I don't know. Yeah.
Hyperbole, where you try to blow something up bigger than what it really is.
Hyperbole.
And I think that's what he's doing because it's the movie he's filming right now. But it looks like it's going to be that way. I mean, it's hard to tell everything from the trailer, but I don't know if I'm sold on some of the characters as of yet.
King Shark is in it.
Yeah, King Shark is in it as a main character.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
All right, moving on from that, they also released Suicide Squad video game from Rocksteady. Rocksteady made some of the first Arkham games. Mm-hmm. So about like halfway through, there was a change in studio, right?
Yes.
Rocksteady, did they also make Grand Theft Auto?
No, that's Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
That's Rockstar Games.
Well, they made the original, like the first couple Arkham games. It'll be co-op up to 4 players. You know, they don't really show a lot in the trailer. It's more of a teaser trailer. And it's more like in the story mode. But it looks cool. Looks fine.
It does look cool, and I'll probably get it and play it just like I would any other. Just because I've never played a game like that, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what to expect from it. They don't give you any gameplay footage, so from what I could see anyway, it looks like a produced trailer almost.
It does, yeah. But I didn't even know that was going to be a thing. I had no idea that there was going to be...
No, I didn't either.
A Suicide Squad game at all. And it's kind of interesting to me that you're going to be playing kind of the villain.
Yeah,
you know, throughout
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yeah, so you're attacking. They show Superman flying in front of you and basically disintegrating someone in air. And you've got to kind of choose what you do.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting. Like, it might be a little bit too conflicting to me to have to kill the good guys.
Oh, come on. It's just a game.
It is just a game. But also, do you believe that they could do it?
No. And they'll end up teaming up together. It's just like every time they do a so-and-so versus so-and-so, they end up teaming up towards a bigger villain at the end.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That is what will happen.
Big one here is an adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Sandman was announced for Netflix last year, and the creator teased additional details during the Saturday panel. Gaiman confirmed work on Sandman for Netflix is still continuing and will be slightly looser but still faithful to the books. Gaiman said the pandemic has allowed for more work on the scripts, along with further tailoring of the story to fit a different time period.
Yes, they're saying that it's going to be set in present day.
Yeah, it's going to start in 1916. But the thing that happens in Sandman #1, the point the story starts, it's not 1988, it's now. So not much other details for that.
That's another one that is kind of like Dune for me, where I'm very excited for it.
Oh, I'm extremely excited for that. And Neil Gaiman is probably...
Just knowing that Neil Gaiman is writing these scripts and directly involved with it. I felt this way about Greg Rucka and the whole Old Guard thing, and we all know how I felt about that movie.
Gaiman has a long history in film and television.
And he's a freaking genius, Chris.
He is a genius.
He's a genius writer that will not let Sandman be done by anybody else. He's taking it over. He's going to do it. That's his baby, and it's going to be done well. I know it's going to be done well.
It can't be done perfect because Alan Rickman is dead, but
right,
we can get close.
Right.
He would be too old.
Harry Potter.
And that's it. That's it for DC Fandome.
That's all I got, too. You covered all the bases that I had.